Hi there. This is a song I wrote for anyone wondering what the heck permaculture is. I hope you enjoy. Permaculture design, just finished up my course. Wanna take it home, take the world on a tour de force. Fruits and trees, flowers and bees, sprouts and seeds, enough for you and me. First come the earth, yeah, you got to take care of it. Then come the people, then each his fair share of it. Designed for the earth and you design for yourself. Help design a world better for you and everybody else. Yeah, principle one, observe and interact, or you won't get far, man, that is just a fact. Principle two, capture and store energy. Put the water in the ground instead of washing out the sea. Principle three is often so tasty. It's obtain a yield no matter what you grow. And got to eat, to work, to live, to make it worth all the hoeing. Principle four, I keep you on track, self-regulate and accept feedback. By that I mean you got to know that things change. Don't be afraid to learn from nature's ways. Because first come the earth, yeah, you got to take care of it. And then come the people and each his fair share of it. Design for the earth and you design for yourself. Help design a world better for you and everybody else. Principle five, it's better to be renewable. Hydroelectric, solar power, it's super doable. You don't need a tractor if you got a horse. If you got two hands, you don't need brute force. Principle six, waste is an illusion. Nature recycles all while we waste time in confusion. Principle seven, design for power.
Is just to get everybody here together and create a space where we can just all hang out and have fun and play music and ask how your grandma's doing and just get to know each other. So I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I have a 5-acre property. I practice permaculture there and do all kinds of things. Ken is in St. Pete. Yeah. What do you do there?
I live currently living at Sacred Land. We're currently teaching a 2-week PDC, and we're going to do full-blown permaculture on Sacred Land. We started a shower in the garden, outdoor shower in the garden. We're looking at a commercial off-the-grid kitchen, different kinds of design elements to support what is essentially a cultural and an educational center on sacred Indian land.
Oh, that's really great project. So we're going to hear a lot more of that today. So I think we're ready now to get into our groups. And
Can I say something first?
Okay, please.
I want to introduce myself. I'm Johnny Dame. This is my first time at a permaculture event. I am an independent environmental educator and a nature artist and a spiritual naturalist. And that means that I believe in the sacredness of nature, and I'm very much committed to trying to heal all these things that happen in the interface between humanity and the natural world. My family's been in Florida for a long time. I'm a 7th generation Floridian. And so I know a lot about the ecoregions of Florida. And I would just like to mention something about where we really are right now in this gathering. All right, a lot of you know about the Green Swamp. Does everyone know about the Green Swamp? Okay. The Green Swamp is something much larger than what it sounds like. It's not just wetlands. It has multiple physiographic landforms, but the whole thing is a basin, and it's a huge basin, and we are in it right here. It's bounded by the Lake Wales Ridge in the east, the Lake County Highlands in the north, the Brooksville Ridge in the west, and the Winter Haven Ridge and the Lakeland Ridge in the south. It is a very, very large basin. It was designated as an area of state critical concern in 1974 because it has been historically the location for the greatest recharge of the Floridan aquifer. And because of that historic recharge, there's a place underground in the aquifer that's called the potentiometric high. And that means it's the highest place in the aquifer for that part of the water. The aquifer is not level. It has peaks and valleys, and the highest peak is about 4.5 miles southwest. It's very auspicious that this gathering would be located here. And I'd also like to tell you that 5 major rivers either source from this swamp, this basin, or are influenced by it, including the Withlacoochee, which forms in the center of this basin and flows northwest and ultimately into the Gulf of Mexico. The Hillsborough, which also forms a little bit further west from the center and flows out through Tampa Bay in the west. It forms Saddle Creek and Peace Creek in the south, which forms the Peace River and comes out down at Charlotte Harbor. It forms a small stream called the Palatlakaha, which is a very important word because that is the actual name of the green swamp. That is the Native American name for the ecoregion we're actually in that encompasses all of what I'm talking about. Palatlakaha. That's where we are right now.
Tocobaga Nation.
Palatlakaha Creek.
Tocobaga, right? Or creek?
Timaquine,
Ah.
which the creek and the Seminole took that word from them. And there was a village called Palatlakaha in the north part of the swamp as well. Palatlakaha Creek actually comes up from the south. It's underground right now because the water table is so low that you can't even discern where it would actually be. But it actually comes up through the land here. It flows up through the east side of the green swamp and comes into fruition a little further up in a series of lakes and becomes a discernible waterway that you can see if you go up Highway 19, actually crosses over Palatlakaha Creek. It flows north and it turns east and it joins the Ocklawaha, which also flows north and turns east, which joins the St. Johns River, which also flows north and turns east and enters the Atlantic up at Jacksonville. So the Palatlakaha is huge. It encompasses almost a quarter of the peninsula. So I just wanted to mention that. And if anybody has any questions later on, I'd love to share with you.
Thank you.
I'd like you to get here what's really remarkable about what he just shared is if you go into a mountainous region, watersheds are very clearly defined. You got a peak of a mountain that goes one way or the other, downhill, right? What do you have here? You have a piece of land that's feeding 4 watersheds. And that modulates and changes depending on precipitation, a bunch of, how much we're sucking out of the aquifer, all these variables. So from a design perspective, this is a sacred place because we're impacting what we do here potentially. I mean, if you look at it like a watershed map, imagine it's developing to like an octopus, right? You've got the heart, we're at the heart, and then we have these patterns that are radiating out from the center of this land into 4 unique watersheds. That's phenomenal.
And it also has a strong influence on the Kissimmee, even though it's not a surface level
5
connection.
watersheds, right?
True heart of Florida,
Wow.
right here.
Are we lucky or what? What a place to play with.
Good planning. Good planning.
Amazing. He's my teacher, right? This guy knows more about watershed than I'm just so grateful. And that's why, during our course we were just talking about that. We're all teachers and we're all students. I mean, it's like permaculture is really comprehensive. We're never going to get it all, and it's such a blessing. To me, that's what's going to make us pull this off. Is the collective intelligence of everybody working as a single organism. In the context of the flower, invisible structures working harmoniously, wide awake, heart-centered consciousness being the compass.